My name is Tom Godfrey, and this is Rhythm Guitar Book 2. This, of course, is a follow-up to Rhythm Guitar Book 1. In Rhythm Guitar 1, you learn to follow lead sheets and rhythm charts with easy 1- and 2-finger chords and simple strums. In Rhythm Guitar 2, you're going to learn full chords, strumming patterns, and fingerstyle patterns. I've already posted videos for Rhythm Guitar 1 and Melody Guitar 1, and you can download those books for free from my website. I'll leave a link in the description. The Rhythm Guitar 2 book is not free, but I am posting these videos and I'll be including screenshots, so yes, you could watch all these videos without spending a dime, but it's going to be a lot easier for you if you have a copy of the book that you can read from and also write in, plus you'll be supporting a fellow musician, so I'll leave links in the description for ordering. If you've already finished Rhythm Guitar Book 1, you are definitely ready for Rhythm Guitar Book 2. Now, if you're brand new to guitar, but you know how to read music, then you could probably start right away with Rhythm Guitar 2, but it wouldn't hurt to take yourself through Rhythm Guitar Book 1 just to make sure you haven't missed anything. Once you've finished Rhythm Guitar 2, you can get into Rhythm Guitar Book 3, First Moveable Guitar Chords, or 3-Note Jazz Guitar Chords. Any of those books will have you playing chords all over the fretboard. And you should also be learning how to play melodies on guitar. I've got a separate series of books for that. We're going to look at your first chords in the next video, but first I want to go over how to read a chord diagram, some music reading basics, and some tab reading basics. And if you don't know how to tune a guitar, check the video linked in the description. A chord diagram is shown as if you're looking straight at the front of the guitar with the body set on the floor. The vertical line on the left represents the 6th string or the biggest string, and the vertical line on the right represents the 1st string or the smallest string. And the top horizontal line represents the end of the fretboard, also called the nut, and the other horizontal lines represent your frets. Above the diagram, you can see the chord name. In this case, it's a D7. An X above a string means you do not strum that string. An O above a string means you do strum the string, but you don't put any fingers down, and that's an open string when you don't put any fingers down. The dots inside the diagram are where you place your fingers, and then your numbers are your finger numbers. So your fingers are numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, and then T for thumb. So for the D7 chord, you're going to place your first finger on the 1st fret, 2nd string, 2nd finger on the 2nd fret, 3rd string, 3rd finger also on the 2nd fret on the 1st string. There's an X above string 5 and also string 6, so we don't strum those strings. There's an O above the 4th string, so we do strum that one as an open string, so it's going to be a 4-string chord. These are the rhythms you learned in Rhythm Guitar Book 1, starting with the whole note. So this whole note lasts for 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. A whole rest is 4 beats of silence. So if I were to alternate whole notes and whole rest, it would sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest. 2, 3, 4. Dotted half notes last for 3 beats. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Dotted half rest, 3 beats of silence. So if I were to alternate dotted half notes and dotted half rest, it would sound like this. 1, 2, 3, rest, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, rest, 2, 3. Your half notes last 2 beats each, so that's 1, 2, 1, 2. And your half rest is 2 beats of silence. So alternating half notes and half rest would sound like this. 1, 2. Rest, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Your quarter note lasts 1 beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And your quarter rest is 1 beat of silence. So alternating quarter notes and quarter rests, you would get this. 1, rest. 1, rest. 1, rest. And eighth notes are twice as fast as quarter notes. So if my quarter note sounds like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, my eighth note sounds like this, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and your eighth rest is a half beat of silence. It's going to be useful to have a counting system in place as the rhythms get more complicated. So here's how I like to write out my rhythms. First, you want to number every single beat. So if you're in 4/4 time, you're going to number beats 1, 2, 3, and 4. And if you're in 3/4 time, you're going to number beats 1, 2, 3. If a note lasts for more than one beat, we still number every beat, but we put dashes in between the numbers. So a whole note here, which is 4 beats in 4/4 time, we write all the numbers, but we put dashes in between to show that we're sustaining. 1, 2, 3, 4. And here's a dotted half note in 3/4 time. Again, we write every single number, even though we just have one note. We put a dash in between each number to show that we're sustaining. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And this example is in 4/4 time. There are 2 half notes, so we write 1, 2, 3, and 4. We write 1-2 to show that we're sustaining through the first half note, and then 3-4 to show that we're sustaining through the other half note. 1, 2, 3, 4. When we have rest, we still write the beat numbers because the beats are there, but we put the beat numbers in parentheses to show that those beats are silent. To count eighth notes, you subdivide the beat, counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, or putting an and in between every number. So these are quarter notes, 1, 2, 3, 4. Eighth notes are counted 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So my 1, 2, 3, 4 was the same speed. We just put an and or an upbeat in between each of those beats. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And when we write this out, we use plus signs instead of the word and just to save some space. In general, you want to play your down beats or your beats 1, 2, 3, 4, anything with a number, picking downward. And your upstroke or the and of the beat is also called an upbeat. You're going to pick up on the upbeats or the ands. This is a downstroke marking, so whenever you see this, strum down. And this is an upstroke marking. Whenever you see this, strum up. If you have all quarter notes, it's going to be all downstrokes. 1, 2, 3, 4, or down, 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 down. If you have all eighth notes, you're going to alternate down strums and up strums, and that's called alternate strumming or alternate picking. And you always want to start with the down. So that's going to be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, or down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And when there's a mix of quarter notes and eighth notes, it's going to be a mix of down strums and alternate strumming. So here we have 2 quarter notes, 4 eighth notes. Your quarter notes are going to be down strums, 1, 2. Your eighth notes are going to be alternate, 3 and 4 and. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4 and, or down, 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 up, down, up. Tab is short for tablature, and this is a notation specific to guitar or similar instruments. I don't write in tab notation very often in my books, but it's useful to know how to read tab because it does come in handy in certain situations. So we're going to go over some basics here. The standard music staff has 5 lines and 4 spaces, and your notes are written on the lines or in the spaces. And the higher the notes appear in the staff, the higher they sound. The lower they appear in the staff, the lower they sound. Tab, on the other hand, has 6 lines, and each of those lines represents a string. The top line represents the first string or the smallest string, and the bottom line represents the 6th string or the biggest string. And that may seem a little upside down, but that's just the way tabs are written, and you get used to reading it like that. Each number on a line is a fret number. For example, if you see the number 3 on the second line from the top, you would place your finger on the 3rd fret, 2nd string. And a 0 indicates that you play that string, but as an open string, no fingers down. Just like standard notation, you're going to play the numbers from left to right, and if numbers are stacked up on top of each other, you play all those notes at the same time. In this first example, we have a 0 on the top line. That's an open first string. Then we have 3, 1, 3 on the second string. That's frets 3, 1, and 3. Next measure, we have 0, 0, 0 on the first string. That's open, open, open. Then we have 3, 3, 3 on the second string. Then 0, 3, 3 on the first string. So there you have your Mary Had a Little Lamb. This next example is also Mary Had a Little Lamb. It's the exact same notes, but played in a different place on the guitar. And you can use tab to figure out how you would do that. So we have 5 on the second string, that's your 5th fret. Then we have a 7, 5, 7 on the third string. Then 5, 5, 5 on the second string. 7, 7, 7 on the third string. And 5, 8, 8 on the second string. This third example is how you may see an accompaniment pattern written out in tab. We have a 0 on the 6th string, so 6th string open. Then we have 0, 0, 0 on the first 3 strings. That when they're stacked up, you play them all together. Then we have a 2 on the 5th string, and then those 3 strings open again. And the second measure is exactly the same. So if you put all that together, you can puzzle out an accompaniment pattern. So that was a review of chord diagrams, rhythms, and an introduction to reading tab. If you don't know how to read music and you're puzzled by any of this, I suggest taking yourself through Rhythm Guitar Book 1. It's a short book and it's free. I'll leave a link for that in the description. If you feel like you understand what we covered here, then I'll see you on page 6, where I'm going to show you the G and E minor chords and your first 2 strumming patterns.